The number one reason why quiet wealth is true wealth. When you can practice quiet wealth, if you're the type of person that doesn't need to flaunt your wealth for the world to see, in my book, you in essence have the ultimate secret superpower. If you love to practice quiet wealth, you're essentially saying that having enough wealth is the most important part of your journey, not the status money brings or the fancy things you can buy with money. What is most important to you is the freedom and flexibility that wealth provides, not the flash and glamour. And in my book, that is a superpower. You have a natural psychological edge over many who aspire for status and things that money can buy them, who are in a lot of ways dependent upon them. The fact is that most people who desire money, who desire wealth, are pursuing them not for the money itself, but rather what money can buy them. They think that if they had $10 million, that $10 million will allow them to buy a fancy car, a fancy home, and that in turn will attract fancy friends, status, respect, and power. But the truth is that when so much of your self-worth is tied to things and social approval, that is the opposite of power. You are powerless because you are dependent upon what money can buy you. Mike Tyson, a former heavyweight champion, is regarded as one of the greatest boxers of all time. He was so deadly inside the ring that at one point, he was called the baddest man on the planet. And to go along with this title, he made a lot of money. Throughout his 20-plus boxing career, Tyson earned over $400 million. In today's dollars, that would be close to $1 billion. But sadly, what happened? Tyson didn't know how to practice quiet wealth. No, he had to practice loud wealth. He spent all his money on chasing status and fame, plus doing a bunch of other crazy stuff. Thus, he was forced to eventually declare bankruptcy. But what is most interesting to me about Tyson is not his lavish spending, crazy lifestyle, and eventual bankruptcy, but the reflection he made after he spent some time in prison when he had no access to money and fame. I spent the best 3 years of my life in prison. I had peace. That money means nothing if you don't have your own peace, stability, and balance. You need your mind to dictate every part of life. Bottom line, don't spend money to buy status. Don't spend money to buy useless trophy toys. And don't spend money to buy friends. Use it to give you peace and stability. That is the true secret superpower of quiet wealth that those who practice loud wealth don't realize. The number two reason why quiet wealth is true wealth. In the line of it representing the ultimate superpower, allows you to have the ultimate control of your own narrative, your life's narrative. In the book Sapiens, A Brief History of Humankind, Yuval Noah Harari talked about how language allowed for our ancestors to not only survive, but thrive ahead of other species. Language allowed for better social cooperation, a key component to tribal living. But do you know what was the key driver to language development? If shows like Gossip Girls and Desperate Housewives can teach us anything, it was gossip. It's not enough for individual men and women to know the whereabouts of lions and bison. It's much more important for them to know who in their band hates who is sleeping with who is honest, and who is a cheat. That's right, ever since we learned how to hunt for bison and fight off lions, we learned to gossip. We just love talking about other people. What stupid things our coworker did, what new lame shorts our neighbor is wearing, and who is dating who now. And it's not just talking behind people's back. We love to tell other people what they should say, do, or wear. If you give other people enough leeway, they'll tell you how you should live your life's narrative. And I feel this becomes even worse when you show your wealth or if your high income is visible. People will have expectations of what you should be doing, when and with whom. From nosy family members, friends, and even complete strangers. I mean, we do this all the time. When we see very visible people in the media, don't we make life advice comments continuously? Oh, Chris Pratt should do more Jurassic Park movies. Jeff Bezos needs to wear more loose shirts. Tom Cruise needs to stop doing these crazy stunts. Well, when you practice quiet wealth, you're free from all these unwanted attention and intervention. Yes, I'm pretty sure Chris Pratt and Tom Cruise are now listening to our inputs, but regardless, you get the point. Bottom line, when you practice quiet wealth, you're free to write your own story rather than letting others create one for you. The number three reason why quiet wealth is true wealth. When you practice quiet wealth, you save yourself from playing stupid games. Play stupid games and win stupid prizes. Naval Ravikant, a serial entrepreneur and angel investor, believes there are fundamentally two huge games in life we all play, the money game and the status game. In the money game, you try to make as much money as possible or enough for life satisfaction, aligned with the theme of quiet wealth. However, in the status game, you try to achieve the highest status possible, to get to the top of the pyramid. And the status game is a very old game. We've been playing since the first tribe. When a group of people get together, we determine who is number one and who is number two. There's always someone on top of me and someone under me. And if you want to move up a slot, you have to bump that person out of that slot. Thus, according to Naval, the status game is a zero-sum game. In order to win, you have to put somebody else down. You have to one-up someone. Politics is a great example of a status game. There are clear winners and losers. But because it's a zero-sum game where you're always fighting to put other people down, it can make you into a combative person if not careful. Another is a lifestyle inflation game, where you make money with the purpose of upgrading your lifestyle. Bigger home, nicer car, fancier vacation. And the hope is that with increased lifestyle, you will be happier because you have nicer things and higher social status, and in turn, be the envy of all your friends. However, because the status game is a zero-sum game, you will never be satisfied. So instead of playing the status game, play the wealth game, the quiet wealth game. Ignore people playing status games. They gain status by attacking people playing the wealth creation games. In talking about playing the wealth game, do you know what is really important to play this game well? Being able to keep track of your score. You need a way to know how well you're doing in the wealth game. Well, how to best do this? By keeping track of your net worth, your investments, which is why I'm excited to talk to you about Empower, who I'm partnering with for today's video. One of the major challenges that many people have when it comes to tracking their net worth is knowing how much is in what account. If you're like most people, you likely have your 401k with one company, your Roth IRA in a different firm, and your savings account in a completely different institution. Well, this is where Empower can help with their free personal dashboard. Once all your accounts are connected, the dashboard allows you to see your whole finance in one glance. No more needing to log into separate accounts to see how you're doing financially. Furthermore, Empower's investment checkup tool allows you to see your complete asset allocation, helping you to ensure it reflects your goals and risk tolerance. Additionally, the retirement fee analyzer allows you to understand how much you're paying in investment fees across all your accounts. A powerful tool that can save you thousands in unnecessary fees. And all these functionalities and more are completely free when you sign up. So if you want to get better at the wealth creation game and keeping accurate track of your score, I highly recommend you check out Empower today. Go to my special link I'll have in the description below to get started with their free dashboard. Again, I'll have the link in the description below. Alright, with that said, let's get back to the video. The number 4 reason why quiet wealth is true wealth. When you practice quiet wealth, you save time. Money is important. Having money allows you to buy comfort and security. But do you know what is more important than money? Time. While we all can make more money, we all have a set amount of time. It is the ultimate equalizer. Thus, as you build wealth, you must leverage it to save and buy back more time, not spend more of it. But the sad fact is that when we spend money for status, attention, or fancy trophies, we're actually wasting more of this precious resource. Andrew Wilkinson, a Canadian entrepreneur who became a billionaire at the age of 36, talked about in his book, Never Enough, about how at one point, all the nice things he owned began to take over his life. Hey Andrew, the lake house needs a new roof. The gardeners want to replant the grass. The deck is cracking and it needs to be replaced. We need to install new floors. He had all the nicest toys, yet instead of enjoying them, he was spending all his life and time just managing them. My life was seemingly spent tending to my life. But when you practice quiet wealth, when you can focus on using your wealth to design your ideal enough lifestyle instead of a lifestyle designed to impress others, you get more time back. You have time to focus on yourself rather than others. You have time to focus on things you enjoy doing rather than entertaining others. Ultimately, you can use money to buy back more time rather than spending money to waste more of it. The number 5 reason why quiet wealth is true wealth. When you practice quiet wealth, you mitigate unwanted attention. During the early hours of August 31st, 1997, Princess Diana, the first wife of Charles III and one of the most popular members of the British royal family, died in a tragic car crash in a tunnel in Paris. At the time of the accident, Diana and her companion were speeding to escape the pursuing paparazzis who were hot on their tails wanting to photograph this famous woman. When you're famous, people want you, especially the media, because famous people garner attention. And Princess Diana, according to her brother, was one of the most hunted persons of the modern age because of her fame. From the moment that she married Prince Charles, paparazzis documented her every move. Now, not all celebrities and wealthy people who flaunt their wealth are hounded by media like Princess Diana. I know she is a pretty extreme example. But if you are showy with your money, the chances are you will garner attention, and from the least desired places. It could be from companies that want to sell you stuff, from media companies that want a piece of your fame, or worse, scammers or financial predators that see you as a potential target. Whoever or whatever it is, if you're not the type that likes unwanted attention, you want to practice quiet wealth. Staying under the radar, allowing you to bypass the unwelcome solicitation and social pressure. The number 6 reason why quiet wealth is true wealth. When you practice quiet wealth, you can prevent your children from growing up entitled. Now, this is not 100% foolproof because every family dynamic is different and how each reacts to different money lessons is different. Regardless, if you want to increase the chances of your children growing up with some sense of humility and groundedness, it will be in your favor to practice quiet wealth. And if I'm honest, this is something I personally struggle with as a parent every single day. My wife and I both grew up in households that struggled financially. My wife remembers having to use food stamps in her early teens, and I remember being evicted from our house when I was in 5th grade. Memories that shaped us today to be stronger, but if we're honest, memories that we wish we could forget. Thus, in our adulthood, especially after we became parents, we vowed not to repeat the same mistakes. We worked hard to place ourselves in a better financial position, and thankfully, we are in a better financial place today. Not Elon Musk wealthy, but a level of financial security. But the nagging feeling we have now is, what about our children? Are we spoiling them? I mean, it's not like we want them to experience the same level of financial pain that we experienced in our childhood, just so that they can become more financially responsible in the future. Thus, we try our best to practice the principle of quiet wealth, prioritizing security over status, spending for freedom rather than display, continuously living below our means and avoiding lifestyle inflation. And the hope is that over the long run, our behaviors will rub off on them as they get older. Or maybe not, right? I mean, who knows? If I'm honest, when it comes to parenting, I feel like half the time I'm figuring it out as I go. But regardless, the hope is that the principles of quiet wealth can teach them responsibility and financial literacy without entitlement. A quick reminder, if you're finding these reasons useful and are scrambling to write them down, not to worry, my friends. I created a free PDF that lists out all the points I'm covering here in a simple to digest format. So go to the link I'll have in the description below to grab your free copy. My gift to you for taking your precious time out of your day to consume my videos. Alright, with that, let's get back to the video. The number 7 reason why quiet wealth is true wealth. Luxury can be truly enjoyed. Some people hear the word quiet wealth and easily associate it with extreme frugality or deprivation. Or practice quiet wealth, you must not buy anything nice. You skimp on everything, right? You only buy jeans from Walmart, stay at cheap motels when you go on vacations, and live in a shack. But that is not true at all. When you practice quiet wealth, you're choosing to focus on inner satisfaction rather than external validation. And that inner satisfaction can be luxuries for some. It's just that you're buying that luxury for yourself, not to show off, not to receive some admiration or attention from people. For example, Ingvar Kamprad, the billionaire founder of IKEA, was known for his simple lifestyle. According to a 2006 interview, Kamprad flew economy class, drove an old Volvo, and reportedly recycled tea bags. And no, this was not because he had to. Bloomberg Billionaire Index once estimated his net worth to be close to $60 billion. It was because he didn't care about status symbols. He didn't need external validation. However, he did indulge in one quiet luxury, his love for fine wine. He didn't flaunt expensive cars or designer suits, but he enjoyed high-quality wine in private, purely for his own pleasure. This is the essence of quiet wealth. It allows you to fully enjoy luxuries that bring you joy without the burden of impressing others. When wealth is not about showing off, every indulgence feels more meaningful and personal. The number 8 reason why quiet wealth is true wealth. It allows for more genuine and healthy relationships. Today, we have more people suffering from loneliness and isolation than ever before. According to a Meta Gallup survey of more than 140 countries, nearly 1 in 4 people worldwide reported feeling very or fairly lonely. This is because many people lack healthy relationships, a sign of true wealth in today's society. Well, how to develop healthy relationships? One is to minimize people who are attracted to you because of your perceived financial or social status. Celebrities are one of the loneliest people on earth because most people in their lives are there for a piece of their fame, their stardom. Stephanie Germanotta, also known as Lady Gaga, has spoken of feeling isolated and lonely, most often being trapped in her home because going out usually brings out hordes of paparazzis. I don't think I could think of a single thing that is more isolating than being famous. She wants to be treated like a human being, yet her fans treat her like a goddess and the media treats her like a product. Now, we may not all be famous or rich like Lady Gaga, but when we practice quiet wealth, it at least places all of our interactions on neutral ground. We can meet and interact with people from various social and economic circles, allowing us to develop more authentic relationships that are based on who we are rather than what our bank account says or shows. Number 9 reason why quiet wealth is true wealth. It allows for better mental health. As I talked about much in this video, there are a lot of benefits to practicing quiet wealth. It prevents us from playing stupid games. It gives us the freedom to write our own life's narrative. It allows us to invest in things and relationships that really matter. And all these elements are recipes for better mental well-being. When you embrace quiet wealth, you eliminate many of the stressors that come with flash spending and social comparison. There's no pressure to constantly upgrade your lifestyle, impress others, or keep up with unrealistic expectations. Instead, you have the peace of mind that comes with financial security, the freedom to make choices based on your values, and the ability to focus on what genuinely brings you happiness. The number 10 and final reason why quiet wealth is true wealth. In the theme of true wealth, it allows for true freedom, which in my mind go hand in hand. When we think about wealth, Our society has conditioned us to see images of luxury goods, huge mansions, and private yachts. However, if we were to really dig down into what a wealthy life looks like to someone, most often what we find is ultimate freedom. Freedom to do whatever they want, whenever they want, and with whomever they want. For most people, that is true wealth. Freedom. Thus, the goal of wealth isn't to show off. It's to live life on your own terms without obligations or expectations. Quiet wealth. Thank you guys for watching. In the theme of money and peace of mind, if you want to learn how to have a healthier relationship with money, please check out my video here. Until next time, all the best.